Okay, I don't know how this is going to come out because I'm in my car. I don't have a microphone. I'm not a video person. I'm a writer. My Substack, I'm a writer, not a talker. Okay, well that's a lie. I'm a talker too, but I just don't video myself talking much. But I just wanted to tell this story. I'm getting ready to leave Walmart, right? Well, I came to Walmart to make a return. And I was standing in line because you know Walmart always have the line for returns or whatever. And I see this older lady who works for Walmart comes up with her cart. There's only one person doing the returns. A younger lady is doing the returns for everybody. But this older lady who works for Walmart comes up with her cart to get things to go put back on the shelf. Well, the system they use is a series of bins, and they're very heavy, and you have to lift the bin and dump it into the cart. Now, this lady's name is Miss Shirley, because I saw her badge. And when I saw Miss Shirley, and I realized that she was actually working there, and she was getting ready to do this, it just broke my heart. And I'm going to tell you why. Miss Shirley, I know sometimes people can look older than what they are. So I don't know how old she is, but Miss Shirley looks like she'll be touching 80 soon. If she's not there, she'll be there within the next 5 years, So it just broke my heart. But I realized and she's, kind of stooped over. And when I looked at her, I thought to myself, when Mama was that age, how we just tried to love on her and stuff. I would have hated to see her have to go out to Walmart and work. But that's the world that we live in today. It's hard for a person to live off of their pension if they have one, Social Security, whatever, 401ks, whatever, because cost of living is so expensive. So it brought tears to my eyes, to be honest with you, to see her having to work. But then I said, well, thank you, God, that Walmart is willing to give her a job. And that's one thing I will say about Walmart. They are really good about giving jobs to senior citizens and people who otherwise would be deemed unemployable by some. Walmart sees the benefit and tries to help them out. I know I talked to another lady who actually sits at the register, which you never see, but because she has a hip issue, they made accommodations for her to be able to have a chair and sit at the register. So Walmart will do things like that for people so that they can continue to work. So anyway, I'm looking at Miss Shirley, and I'm thinking to myself, God, I wish this lady didn't have to work. It just breaks my heart. It made me think of Mama when she was at that age, and I don't know, it just really touched my heart. And then something happened that really did bring the tears to my eyes and almost rolling down, but I caught them. The lady that was working the register, doing the returns and taking people's bill payments and what have you, her name is Myra. And Myra stopped what she was doing regardless of the line. And she turned around and she said, let me help you with that. And she went and got each cart and dumped it for Miss Shirley into Miss Shirley's buggy. And while she was doing that, Miss Shirley was kind of questioning her, talking to her in a grandmotherly way, like, how many kids do you have? And, oh, I'll take that 1-year-old, but the other ones, they too old for me, and that kind of, just making pleasant talk as she leaned on the basket and waited for Myra to finish putting the stuff in there. And Myra was so pleasant and so sweet. And so she did what she had to do for Miss Shirley. And then once Miss Shirley was able to walk away with her full basket now to go put the things back on the shelf, Myra turned around and went back to work and went back to doing what she had to do. And right then and there, I stopped. And I said several prayers, because I pray throughout the day as I'm making decisions, as I see things, as I'm going places, I try to pray. And I said, my first prayer was for Miss Shirley. And I said, God, we don't know, but and just watch over her and help her. And maybe, if she wants it, give her some days of rest where she don't have to work anymore, but still be well taken care of. And then my second prayer was for Myra. And I said, you know, this is such a kind, generous young lady. You could tell she stopped what she was doing to help Miss Shirley. Please look after her and let her to continue to be this way in life. And not only that, but let her sense of kindness towards others pass down generational through her children. Let her children learn from her and her behavior and pass that on to their children, and so on and so forth. So that was my prayer for Myra. And then my third one was actually for Walmart, that, you know, I know they're a corporation and there's good with the bad, and they do some bad things too, but that they continue to work towards the good and continue to help people who need help by giving them the employment that they need to survive, because it's going to get worse. It's not going to get better. You're going to see more and more people having to work in their 70s and even their 80s, and there's nothing really at this point we can do about it except try to help each other out as much as we can, and that includes the corporations. So shout out to Walmart. And so I threw up a prayer for Walmart that God continues to allow them to help those people. So when I got to the line, and show you how this stuff works. So when it was my turn in line, and she asked, you know, Myra asked me what did I need. I said, I'm making a return. I need a refund. I said, but before we go there, before we do that, I want to tell you something, Myra. I saw what you did. And I laughed. I said, I saw what you did. I saw how you stopped in the middle of what you were doing. Even though you had people in line and were busy and whatever, you stopped and you helped Miss Shirley. And that was just the... Okay, my recording has stopped. That's the kindest, sweetest thing I have seen, because in this day and age, people just don't help each other anymore. I mean, I know some do, but you don't see it. I said, you could have said, hey, I'm busy, I'm doing my job. If she's got a job to do, you know, let her do her job, and not did anything. I said, but you didn't. You saw her, you saw that she was elderly, you turned around, you helped her, and you were pleasant about it, and then you went back to continue to do your work. And I said, and God just bless you. I said, and I told her, I said, you know, I said a prayer for you. I prayed that not only will God bless you, but that he will pass down your kindness and your nature to your children, and it passed down generationally. I said, because we need more of that in the world for us to really try to make it here with whatever time we have. And she told me, she said, you know what? I really needed to hear that. And I told her, I said, and God told me he's already got you. Just continue to be Myra. Just continue to be Myra. And she told me, she said, you know what? I really needed to hear that. She said, because here's what you don't know. She said, I'm really struggling right now because I'm in seminary. And it is so hard, and I've got so much on me, and I'm trying to make it through seminary. And for you to say that to me, it was like it was a word. It was a word from God telling me I'm on the right path, and to hold on, he's got me. And I said, he does. I said, because when I prayed that prayer, he told me not to worry about you, and I had no clue that you were in seminary. I say, so yes, he does. He's got you. And I just thought that was just a wonderful thing, how God will bring believers together to support other believers. And I tell my friend this all of the time. God will bring us together to support each other. We just have to be on the lookout. We have to listen, and we have to move when he say move. So I'm so glad he moved me to speak to her in a moment where she really needed to hear it. And I'm so glad he allowed me to see her interaction with Miss Shirley, because it gave me hope for the world, especially with some of the younger people. So I just wanted to share that story because I could not believe it, you know, that happened in Walmart today. But keep Miss Shirley lifted in prayer, you guys, because she is old, and but she's doing the best she can, and I'm glad that she has the employment that she needs. But I would love to be able to see her sit home and just watch soap operas all day, because she's at that stage where that's what she should be able to do. But we live, like I say, we live in an economy where that's just not possible for the older people. Anyway, I just wanted to share. Talisa, retired